All right, you bad motherfuckers, as Joey Diaz once said. You want a sequel to this? You got a sequel. I didn't think there would be a sequel, but here we are. Here we are in 2023, in May of 2023, before my 45th birthday. And what do we got here? Microsoft's Activision Blizzard acquisition approved by EU regulators. So, what does that mean? Just 68.7 billion deal. So here's Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S. So what that means is here's the big deal to acquire Activision Blizzard. Okay, Bobby Kotick and the guy, the long-haired dude with the in charge of Blizzard. So it's been approved by the European Union just weeks after the UK regulators blocked it. So it is now unblocked, so they can get it. And the EU found that Microsoft would quote unquote would have no incentive to refuse to distribute Activision's games to Sony. They can give if they want to, and that even if Microsoft did decide to withdraw Activision's games from the PlayStation, making them exclusives, this would not significantly harm competition in the consoles market, but it might harm the Xbox. Or no, actually, let me think. So, I mean, common sense would say if you make Call of Duty the Xbox's bitch, that's the end for competitive. I mean, the Xbox keeps going, right? I'm rambling. Let's go. Let's keep going here. Um, where we go? End quote. But EU regulators, much like the UK, did find the acquisition could harm competition around the distribution of PC and console games through cloud gaming services. So what I'm getting from this, and it says they identify remedies of how allow for the 10-year licensing deals. These include a free license to consumers in EU countries that will allow them to stream via any quote any cloud game streaming services of their choice end quote all current and future Activision Blizzard PC and console games that have a license for. So cloud providers will also be offered a free license to stream these games in EU markets. So any cloud game streaming services of their choice. So even though the ball's in their court, they're giving it out to everybody else, trying to appear like it's a competition. These licenses are automatic and mean that consumers will have a right to stream AB games, we'll just call it that. We'll call it AB games. ABXY, but what would the Y stand for? So Activision Blizzard Xbox. So these AB games they purchase or subscribe to any cloud game streaming services of their choice, and you can play them on any device using any operating system. So let me just zoom in on that for to be used on any operating system. So it appears that the European Commission requested Microsoft offer this automatic license, and the Xbox maker will now apply this globally. So here's the original tweet from Brad Smith. Required Microsoft to license popular AB games automatically to competing cloud gaming services. So not only, I mean, because you have the cloud, right? The Xbox cloud, the Microsoft cloud, but now the Microsoft cloud is sort of the universal cloud. So any device they choose. So if you want to play Halo or Banjo Kazooie Super Nuts and Bolts, Banjo Kazooie Tears of the Kingdom, whatever it is, our decision represents an important step in the direction by bringing Activision's popular games on many more devices and consumers than before, thanks to cloud game streaming and like a PPP. Commitments are offered and enhancing competition. I don't know about the competition. This might be bad news for the Xbox Series X. The EU's decision to approve this giant deal comes less than a month after UK regulators blocked Microsoft's plans. The UK's Competition and Markets Authority, CMA, blocked the deal over cloud gaming market concerns, stating that the acquisition could lead to reduced innovation and less choice for UK gamers over the years to come. Microsoft is appealing the decision, but Microsoft has spent the past few months trying to address regulators' concerns over cloud gaming, with the deals convincing EU regulators, but not the UK. The software giants signed cloud gaming deals with Boosteroid, what the fuck, Ubitus, NVIDIA to allow Xbox PC games to run on those rival cloud gaming services. A similar deal with Nintendo was announced in December. All of these 10-year deals also include access to Call of Duty and other Activision Blizzard games if the deal is approved by regulators with Nintendo. I think Nintendo wouldn't allow people to play Mario on their stuff. I mean, it would be third party. I would say third party gaming with Nintendo is not going to be out of the question. But spent the last few months trying to notice. CMA fears that Microsoft controlling Call of Duty, Overwatch, and World of Warcraft would give it a big advantage over competitors. Well, why shouldn't it? But there's a few problems. Appeal in the UK will likely take months. Regulators in Saudi Arabia, Brazil, Chile, Serbia, Japan, South Africa have also approved the deal. Okay, so everybody around is approving the deal. China, South Korea, not North Korea, New Zealand, and Australia are all still reviewing the deal. Okay. Well, obviously we approve, I guess. Australia, New Zealand. Surely Tamura Morrison wants to play some cloud games. Is that, I don't know who that is. Activision CEO Bob. Oh wait, we'll get to Bobby in a minute here. Next hurdle is regulatory scrutiny closer to home. The FTC sued to block Microsoft and Activision Blizzard's deal late last year, and the case is still at the document discovery stage. I guess we're still waiting. Bobby Kotick welcomed the EU approval and says the company intends to meaningfully expand our investment and workforce throughout the EU. UK. The UK, US, and European competition authorities are unanimous that this merger would harm competition in cloud gaming, says the CMA in a statement. Microsoft's proposals accepted by 10 years. So Microsoft could update, yeah. Let's see. Microsoft clearly has a tough appeal battle ahead and constant discussion to the EU to get the deal over the line. So what I'm taking from this, I'm sorry it's taking me so long to get to the point here, 7 minutes. It seems that, yeah, you still have a problem with the Series X. If their big deal is, because the big deal has to be in the physical games, the discs themselves, the downloads, and then you get to the cloud gaming. But the cloud gaming is probably, well, I mean, and I Martel the Cool talked about it once, and I know Rome Rush talked about it. And Mark Busler, classic game room guy, tried on live in his classic game room CGR reviews. Cloud gaming is not the future right now for anything. You have to, I mean, using the internet has to be like turning on water. You know, it has to be automatic. It has to be like just a snap. You know, you have to be able to have it on, and you can play the games as though you have a disc in there. So that could be a problem if it, depending on who has the highest speed internet, this could be a problem in that some people will just not buy the games. But the biggest deal right now is having those exclusives and working on that. So Overwatch, World of Warcraft, and Call of Duty, and anything else that Activision's done. I mean, so many different exclusives. And yeah, I mean, it could get to the point where when they bought Rareware, they started off on the Xbox with Conquer Live and Reloaded and Grabbed by the Ghoulies. So they made about, like, on two hands, a number of games, okay? Maybe including Sea of Thieves. But this could be where it's like those exclusives are going to be drip fed. And by the time we get to like a handful of exclusives of Call of Duty games for Series X, people have moved on to the next system. So this could probably hurt them. But they do need those exclusives. And if they don't get people working on this, it's not going to matter what they do. The cloud gaming is not super efficient. Everybody's worried about the future of these cloud games. You would have to have a strong high-speed internet. I don't know if we're going to ever get there. I noticed that as time goes on, gigabyte SD cards get cheaper and cheaper, but will the internet get faster and faster? Can we download a game and upload a game as quickly as getting on the cloud? If the answer is yes, then Microsoft would still have a problem because you can play the same games. If you could play Call of Duty on a PC not approved by Microsoft, you could do anything. I mean, somebody was mentioning Tencent. There's some Chinese company. You get a bootleg Chinese console to run the damn thing. Who knows? Chinese bootleg PC. I mean, there's just big corporation that, probably bootleg stuff. China is known for that. But to play these games outside of your Xbox Series X, again, it's making the thing more pointless. That's why I say they do it again. And this was going to happen. I mean, they were really, really pushing for this monopoly. And now they finally have it. So, in a way, I'm actually happy for Phil, but he's not going to really have much to worry from. Put it this way. I applaud Sega more than Microsoft because Sega started out as a slot machine company in Hawaii. They made slot machines. They made physical arcade mechanical games like that you play in an arcade. One of them was a helicopter game where you move it was like Simon before Simon was ever a thing. You move the helicopter toy to different spots. There was a magic lantern, overlays, and you shoot at things from a tank. Then they made video games. Then they made the 300 system, the 800 system, then the Master System, Genesis, Sega CD. They were the first the CD compatible console system before PlayStation. And they did the 32X add-ons and the Saturns and Dreamcast, and then they said, fuck it, we can't do the consoles anymore. This may be the future for Microsoft as a company. And in a way, I am actually happy for them. But that means that the Xbox is becoming more and more useless because you don't really need to spend $500, $600 with all the goodies on it, okay? You're only buying the Xbox Series X or Series S as a collector, and a collector only of weird shit that Microsoft made. That's the only reason you're buying it. You're not buying it because this is the best way. Because if the newest PC this year can run things faster than your Xbox Series X, why would you want to buy that to run Call of Duty or World of Warcraft? You wouldn't. You wouldn't want to do that. You'd want to go for something more reliable. So, and my Steam Deck, while the Steam Deck can't boast exclusives, it's got PlayStation compatible games on it. You can buy the best games for discount prices. And I think that's the future, is not exclusives, but what can this thing do better than the last thing that happened? So, I mean, like if the cloud gaming for Microsoft games comes to the Steam Deck, that's it. You don't have to worry about shit. If Steam and Microsoft shake hands and have a nice a one night stand, that's it. I mean, the Xbox is coming to your Steam Deck. And you don't need the Xbox. I feel like the Xbox Series X is the Dreamcast of this. This is like the final leg. I'm going to find that article for you. Maybe we'll make this a trilogy. I don't know how far these things will go, but if I can find that article, that the one guy that was like in charge of Xbox One, and people complained about the way the Xbox One setup was, and the guy says, deal with it. And then he left the company the next week. I got to find that article. I really have to find it. But if you like this video, if it's good enough for you, you see those buttons below, you know what to do. If you have your Xbox Series X, I think Rome said that you can't sell it paperweight, but it makes a nice decoration. Time to get that PC, baby. Time for PC.